Welcome to Deep World's News. Today, there was a striking development in the Israel-Hamas war. Palestinians living in the West Bank woke up to a loud noise on Wednesday morning. The Israeli army raided many points in the West Bank in the early hours of the morning. The raids were also supported by air. Some points were hit from the air and leveled. At least 11 Palestinians were reportedly killed in the attacks. The IDF carried out a major operation with the Israeli Security Agency in the area of Jenin and Tulkarem in the northern part of the West Bank throughout the night and early morning. IDF spokespeople reported that these raids were the largest in recent times. The raids were justified by counterterrorism practices. Initial findings indicate that a significant and joint Israeli operation was carried out with the participation of drones and bulldozers, military and security forces, 4 battalions of the Israel Border Police, and an elite unit of covert units. Footage obtained by Deep World News shows bulldozers destroying a street in the residential area of Tulkarem and advancing in a convoy from Jenin. Additional footage released by the Israeli army purportedly shows an attack on an operations room used by militants in Nur Shams, a refugee camp near Tulkarem. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said the operation was carried out to intercept the Islamic Iranian terrorist infrastructure and claimed that Iran was trying to establish an eastern front against Israel. We must deal with this threat just as we deal with the terrorist infrastructure in Gaza. This includes the temporary evacuation of Palestinian residents and any other necessary steps, he wrote on social media. This is a war from all perspectives, and we must win. The fighting in the West Bank has intensified since Israel launched a war in Gaza on October 7th in response to the Hamas offensive in southern Israel. As part of these developments, Israel has increased its military operations in the West Bank. The international spokesman for the Israel Defense Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani, stated in a briefing that Israel had identified a systematic strategy in Iran to bring weapons and explosives into the West Bank. Shoshani emphasized that this strategy was particularly effective in the Jenin and Tulkarem regions. More than 150 armed attacks and attacks with explosives were recorded in the Jenin and Tulkarem regions in particular over the past year. These attacks are considered an indicator of the increasing security threat in the region, Shoshani said in a statement on Wednesday. This situation has led Israel to increase its security measures in the region. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, and Shin Bet Intelligence Agency said they struck 5 terrorists in an operations room in the area of Nur Shams in the northern West Bank. The structure was used to conduct terrorist activity and harm IDF soldiers operating in the area, the army said, identifying one of those killed as Jibril Jassan Ismail Jibril, who was released as part of the ceasefire agreement in November last year.